Hello guys, what's good? I'll go by the name East Coast Prince, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So today we'll be highlighting a saga that happened between our neighboring country. Are they neighbors? No, our African country, South Africa, and also Nigeria. This is another battle saga that happened. So we thought it was over with the whole Amapiano versus Afrobeats, Israel Adesanya versus Dricus Du Plessis. We have been having a lot of South African Nigerian clash as of late, including the saga that happened between the Chidinma lady that had a dual citizenship and was born, and she grew up in South Africa, but yet they felt like she wasn't qualified enough to represent the country as Miss South Africa in their beauty pageant. So the whole saga has been on, and just when we thought that it would cool off a bit, something happened on X. So on X platform, South Africans came out and they started this where they said that if they were bored, they booked Bolt drivers from Nigeria and just stressed out the Bolt drivers' life. From all the way from South Africa, they are booking Bolt rides in Nigeria and stressing out Nigerian drivers. So Nigerians were like, if you want to play this petty game, we can play it for you. And Nigerians started booking too. So in order to cut the long story short, let's listen to a new show on Arise that actually highlights the whole story, and let's just watch it. Let's go.
Joining us now for What's Trending in Shaitan, Tigere. Great to have you, Shaitan.
Hello. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
TGIF.
Good.
Thank
Oh,
God.
yes.
TGIF. Friday is my favorite day of the week.
What a week.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Hi. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning to all our viewers watching from all over the world. Starting here in Nigeria. Nigerians and South Africans, the South African online debacle took a new dimension yesterday after both divides engaged in another supremacy battle. Citizens from the two countries went for each other's jugulars by ordering e-hailing drivers from opposing countries in the comfort of their homes. While South Africans began the show by allegedly ordering Bolt and Uber drivers in Nigeria and cancelling the ride when the drivers got to the pickup locations, Nigerians also returned the favor, massively mobilizing fellow citizens to go on the e-hailing apps and book rides in South Africa to show the power of numbers. Bolt has since restricted inter-country ride requests between Nigeria and South Africa following this. Now let's take.
So first of all, this was like a major flaw on the Bolt app for the fact that someone in another country can order a ride from another country. Ideally, it's not supposed to be so. It's supposed to be within the confines of the nation to which you are ordering from. So the restriction was a long time coming, and it took this whole saga for Bolt to actually do this action. But yeah, let's continue.
Take some tweets. The first tweet there reads, Nigerians have all the time in the world. Don't look for their trouble. The next tweet there reads, a Nigerian requested a Bolt ride in South Africa while in Nigeria, and the South African driver was nearly in tears in South Africa. You have to pay to cancel Bolt rides, but in Nigeria, cancellations are free. If it comes down to a showdown, only one side stands to lose. The final tweet there reads, it's important to use technology and services responsibly and respectfully. Now, I wanted to make sure I took that tweet so it doesn't seem as if because I'm a Nigerian, I'm saying that what happened online yesterday was right. But really, when you look at it, like, it looks as if the battle started and Nigerians just took it all the way. Just moved it along. And I did see a number of videos. There was a particular street that was packed full with Uber drivers. How did we get here? Why are South Africans and Nigerians always fighting, for God's sake?
So in this whole saga, South African versus Nigerian, Nigerians are the most petty set of people, and we are willing to play dirty if it comes to that. And for sure, when you have people like that are just willing to play dirty and are looking for any slightest bits to show how petty they can be, South Africa basically brought the food to our table, and of course Nigerians took it and ate. So the whole thing, I'm not surprised. It's something that has been going on and on for years. But let's continue. Let's see how it goes.
Where do we start? There's the World Cup face-off. There's the
supermodel issue with the dual citizenship. Israel Adesanya lost to a South African at MMA.
Don't forget, there's that fight between Amapiano and Afrobeats.
Thank you so much. What is that? But this is, I mean, I took that quote from a South African driver that said he had to go all the way from Cape Town to Stellenbosch, wasted 50 kilometers worth of fuel, and they pay taxes on fuel in South Africa. You don't just go there to the pump. Taxes are included because the money is used for insurance if you have an accident. The issue though is I feel for the drivers. It's terrible, but as I said, we have the country manager for Bolt coming on the Global Business Report to talk about how they blocked it and what goes for. This is wrong. I mean, there are people at the other end of this who need to make a living by driving this far to go and pick people up, and those are the people I'm thinking about. It was really unfair on that side.
This is wrong on every level. So let me start by.
Yeah, you know, it's all joke and fun on the apps, but there are people that are really affected in real life, and those are the people that we should look at. You know, imagine a man waking up in the morning, carrying his car and going out so that he can make the maximum profits possible. Then suddenly, because of a back and forth between two countries online, people tends to start playing with your money, and they're booking rides that will never come to fruition. You're driving 4 or 5 hours, or you're driving 1 or 2 hours to a place, and they are canceling the rides on you. And of course, there's no accountability for this because it's just a petty game going on between two countries. And because it's international stuff, you're paying tax on top, burning your fuel, and getting getting frustrated. Meanwhile, it's for fun and games for the people online. So the Uber drivers the boat drivers are the ones that are really affected by this whole back and forth.
By saying that, however, let me now say, don't start what you can't finish. Don't start what you can't finish. You know, on a lighter note, the truth is that the people who suffer this loss are the drivers, especially the South African drivers who have to pay. Actually, Nigerian drivers as well, because the fuel cost to head to the destination where you've been requested is significant. So we must really sympathize with the drivers. But before the South Africans, they started it. So let me put that on record. I don't know what happened, but they started booking boat rides in Nigeria, private hailing cabs, and then Nigerians decided to retaliate. Now, let me tell you the stats in terms of the users as of March 2024 of X. Nigeria has 5.75 million users on X, while South Africa has 4.1 million. There are bigger, less.
Okay, we have more than them, but the gap is not so much. We have 5.75, they have 4.1 million. That's like over 1.6 million gap, you know, on X. So let's go.
Since here, the first one I talked about was if you have to count the cost before you embark on a journey. So if you're starting to do something, you must evaluate and analyze broadly, and then don't go in the middle and start thinking, oh my goodness, we made a mistake. And that's what happened with the South Africans. When they started, they didn't consider our numbers. They didn't consider we have many unemployed youths in Nigeria who don't have a lot of things to occupy their time, but to stand and just be, because they're just sharing it and say, oh, you order here, order there. Now, on the flip side, can we use this passion for something positive? This passion that we use to fight against one another in Africa, if it's not Nigeria versus South Africa, it is Nigeria versus Ghana. You know, we're always consistently fighting on X. Why can't we use it together to build things together? Look at the amount of effort and amount of energy spent on X when people are looking at electric vehicles, looking for solutions using AI. We are there fighting on X, using our technology to waste our time and waste the money of others. We should use this energy. And that's why we say one of our greatest resources in Nigeria and on the African continent, our youth, the youth population, our numbers. And so let's see an opportunity to tap into the ingenuity, the creativity of these people, rather than expending their energy, causing problem and making life hard for other, innocent people. Let us utilize it properly so that we're able to harness our greatest resource, the minds and the talent of our young people. But next time I say, don't start what you can't finish.
One quick.
Yeah, I like the angle to which he attacked this from, the fact that there are a lot of youths, we have a lot of human resource that are just lying fallow, waiting to be harnessed. And what can the government do? What can be done to harness the youths and make them more active for something profitable that will actually impact positively on the country, instead of just allowing these people to just be there and looking for how to bash one country or the other? Either it's jollof rice today, tomorrow it is who is the better UFC fighter, next tomorrow it's Amapiano versus Afrobeats. Aside the online banter, what else can be done with the youths and the manpower that Nigeria has to take Nigeria forward? I like the angle to which he tackled this from, but let's see.
Okay, and I'm glad you mentioned this. If you compare X to Threads, you don't see this kind of activity on Threads. It has to be said that with Elon Musk taking over X, there's been this tilt towards aggression and abuse and fighting. They are in violation of the Digital Services Act in the EU. They are taking them to courts to go and on that front. Revenues have dropped seriously. Elon Musk now, they're saying he will have to sell shares in Tesla to make up the funding gap that has been reduced from lack of ads. They've chased people away. They are extremists on X. If you go on Threads, which is now approaching 200 million users, you won't see this kind of activity. So there's also something to be said about toxic culture and on that particular exactly.
What I would say about this is that for some reason Threads is not as active as X is. X is the real-time active platform. So comparing X to Threads, I would say it's not even an Elon Musk factor, because the toxicity on Twitter, when it was Twitter, was already there way before the Elon Musk came in. So I don't really agree with what he's saying per se. I know that Elon Musk is all about free speech, and maybe he must have amplified it a bit, but this has always been there, And Threads, I don't see Threads as an active platform compared to X. So that's my own take on that. Let's go.
That's one big thing.
Rufai.
So for me, this is it. I think X was just a platform at which they did it. The problem is deeper. And the question is, I don't know why. I don't know why the same Nigerians that stood toe-to-toe with South Africans to fight apartheid are now being fought in return. And I think that's what we should handle. I'll go back to the words of Frantz Fanon that says, oppressed people only oppress others. So when you look at it, the oppressed people over the years in South Africa will only look for other people to oppress, which is their fellow black African brothers, in a lot of xenophobic activities. We all remember what happened a couple of years ago here, where South Africans went out for Nigerians, and we had to go and repatriate Nigerians with a plane. Air Peace, I give you kudos for that. And South African businesses too were damaged here. But till date, we've not been able to find a way to be able to harmonize.
That's true. I think ShopRite, that was the reason why ShopRite left Nigeria, because any little thing, they always vandalize the ShopRites, And the whole xenophobic attack also propagated that vandalism of ShopRite, and they had to leave because their business was no longer secure in Nigeria, despite the fact that they were, moving. They were like one of the big shopping brands right here in Nigeria. It's so the animosity that is between South Africa and Nigeria is deeply rooted. It's not just petty, because xenophobic attacks have happened in the past. This is the reason why till today I don't think Burna Boy really likes it. It doesn't affiliate himself with South Africa as much, and even though I don't want to bring about the late AKA, but also AKA, I remember that time when the xenophobic activity happened and AKA's stance was quite misunderstood. He lost a lot of Nigerian fans, and also him and Burna Boy, they kind of like had a very serious clash at that time. So the whole thing, it's deeply rooted, and even though this one seems to be petty and it's all fun and games, even though real life and real people were affected by this, Rufai has something that he's saying here. He has something that he's saying here, and it's actually right. The animosity is deep. It's deeper than we think. So let's go.
So why can't we use this division we have as strength? We are talking about Afrobeat and Amapiano. There's no division. We enjoy Amapiano here. That's just it. Just like they also enjoy our Afrobeat. We enjoy their Kwaito here. Just like they also enjoy our Afrobeats. So there is no division amongst us. It is just some incendiary forces that are turning us against each other.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we share in common. Unemployment, hunger, and poverty. The reflection of what was done on X was because of the large level of unemployment. We have well over 40% here. They've got over 35% in South Africa. So those dudes doing those stupid things on X were united in unemployment and hunger.
Okay, so what this was on the screen. Nigeria and South Africa face off across multiple fronts. The World Cup qualification, Chidinma Adesina's controversy, which is the model, of course, that they didn't allow her to become a finalist because she's not a South African. Even though she was born there, she grew up there, she bears a Nigerian name and she doesn't have South African blood, so therefore they didn't allow her to continue with the contest. Then we have Adesanya, Israel Adesanya losing to DDP, Dricus du Plessis. So of course, that's the whole back and forth. It's supposed to be two brothers having their friendly competition, but it gets deeply rooted because we have had series of xenophobic attacks in the past, and also real life people have been affected by this. So let's listen.
Why? Because of bad leadership that we both share. We've seen the likes of the South African president has not been able to fix the problem bedeviling his people. South Africans took over a company that was one of the best in the world in the 90s, and they've run it aground. That's Eskom. They are having load shedding. We are having our power problems here. So we are both united in the victimization we get from our leaders. The president of South Africa is feeding fat. Till today, he's not been able to tell us about the Palapala scandal, where they found lots of money in his home. But the people of South Africa and Soweto and other areas are suffering. So rather than we take this out on our leaders, we start to fight ourselves and fight other poorer people that are using both to be able to eke out a means of living. Then you are making them waste their money and you are happy. South Africans stayed here in Lagos during the time of apartheid. People were donating money in schools here. We had a lot of exchange program. Why don't we bolster that? Why don't we strengthen trade? A couple of days ago, they were coming to sell South African tourism here. You, Cheito, you went to South Africa on the heels of South African government to look at tourism. And you did a fantastic report, which South Africans were pleased. Also, how can we have exchange program where they can also come here? And we are even looking at all of this. Why can't we also develop our own technology and have our own social media site that Africans own? You're talking about Elon Musk. Most of that money still goes to the American economy. Yeah. So how can we boast?
The funny thing is, Elon Musk is actually a South African that migrated to the US to further his business and all. And of course, Elon Musk is a successful multi-billionaire, and all the money from all these investments are actually going to the US economy because that's where he identifies that he's from, you know. But anyway, let's just let's listen to this to the end and let's just round it up.
Post our own social media and have our own platform that are globally recognized. I think those are the most important conversations we should have. We should collaborate, not make things divide us. What lies before us and what lies within us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. And that's what we should look at. Enough of all of this Nigerian-South African beef. It's useless, it's stupid. And please, if there's anything we can really do to reach out to those boat drivers that lost money. Because see, if you live with a taxi driver, you will know that 1 liter of fuel means heaven and earth. Yeah. If you can reach out and see what we can do. So please, for all the people that did the madness of social media, I have a way forward for you. Nigerians and South Africa, collaborate and set up a crowdfunding site and return those monies to those drivers. I think that's the best way to do it.
Definitely, I agree with you, Rufai. Maybe you could...
So shout out to Rufai for bringing a positive light to this and also making us see the deeper side of the whole thing. You know, it looks all fun and games, but of course, real people, real life, we are affected by the whole thing. So, but that is it for the whole Nigeria and South Africa's battle. Will it end now? No, I don't think so. But if we can use our platforms to push and try to make things better, we should do that. So tell me what you think about this. Tell me your own opinion about the whole back and forth, South Africa, Nigeria having their own thing going on. And yeah, I'll go by the name East Coast Prince. Don't forget to like and subscribe on this channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.